When I was a little girl, I was obsessed with robots. So one day, my dad brought me a robot, hoping that it would make me happy. But unfortunately, it made me cry because it would neither speak to me nor play with me like a friend would. I was very upset, and after a lot of drama, it made me realize that nothing like the one I imagined ever existed. And it also made me wonder if I could ever make something like that. But that particular incident had a profound impact on me, paving a way to pursue my career in artificial intelligence or AI. Now, there are many definitions of AI, but according to me, if a machine behaves, thinks, and solves problem intelligently like a human, I call it an AI. Let me tell you a small story. When my daughter was young, I read a lot of stories to her and remember showing her images of tigers, giraffes, and many more animals. One day we went to safari, and I was surprised that she was able to recognize all the animals. We as humans have this ability in order to learn, adapt, generalize, and transfer the knowledge we have gained from one problem to solve other problems. We take it for granted. We do not think much about it. So, in my daughter's case, she was able to learn and apply the knowledge she has gained from the images in the books to the ones in the safari. But this kind of generalization is very challenging for machines. And this is something I address through my research. Several breakthroughs have been happening not only in my area of research, but also in many other areas of AI. Let's take healthcare as an example. AI is used in drug discoveries, early disease detection, and in finance, it is used to enhance customer experience, fraud detection, and much more. But whenever we hear the term AI, we tend to associate it only with few tech giants. I think we use it more often than we think. So, you should not be surprised if I say that we all here in this room have AI with us. Many applications on our smartphones use AI. Let's take an example of Smart Assistant. AI is used in the Smart Assistant in order to recognize our voice and answer our commands like, "Hey Google, what's the weather today?" Or, "Hey Siri, where are the nearest Indian restaurants?" and so on. Facebook. It uses AI in order to tag people on the images. And Snapchat uses AI in order to apply filters on our faces in the real time. These companies also use AI in the background in order to detect and remove fake accounts, hate speeches, and many more. Let me come back to healthcare. Traditionally, surgeons performed surgeries by making larger incisions in order to access the area of interest to perform the procedure. But we all know the problems that come with it. There is a lot of pain to the patient and a lot of fatigue to the surgeon. A lot of progress has been made, and AI has been integrated into surgical procedures. Now, when the surgeons use these AI enabled surgical tools, they are able to perform with perfect precision and minimal incisions, resulting in less pain to the patient and less scars, along with fewer post procedural complications. There are many places in the world where they do not have access to the basic medical needs. So imagine in the future if the AI is integrated into these products and is used either remotely or autonomously to perform surgeries. How many lives can be saved? Now, even though these are all super advanced, they all still come under narrow artificial intelligence, meaning that they have the ability to perform a single task on which they are trained on extremely well. Till now, we have seen the advantages of AI. Now, let us see some of the risks associated with the AI. Let me walk through some of the examples in the real world where AI did not go well. So, judges in America used an AI system called Compass in order to predict if an individual would recommit a crime. Based on these predictions, they would decide whether or not to keep them while they are awaiting trial. Now, what could possibly go wrong with this? Later, an investigation by ProPublica revealed that this AI algorithm was biased against the Black Americans, and it was twice as likely to predict that a Black American would commit a crime compared to a white American. The developers have not explicitly used race while they were developing this algorithm, but the racial and the societal biases that existed in the historical data crept into the algorithm and amplified the existing biases. In another setting, AI was used to predict if a patient needed additional medical needs. And again, this algorithm was against the people who actually needed the care. In this particular situation, the AI algorithm was fed the health spending data of the patient as opposed to their health data. And so it started favoring people who could actually afford the health care as opposed to the patients who were actually in need of the medical care. So I really get scared when people develop this kind of application because biases like this sometimes lead to life and death situations. Amazon used AI in its recruitment tool. And very soon they realized that it was biased against women because it was trained using the data that represented mostly men. So it started favoring men over women. Now, I would have been personally devastated if my hiring decision was based on a biased algorithm rather than my true skills and experiences. We have seen so far the examples of how social, racial, and gender biases crept into the AI algorithms. Now, I would like to focus on a different issue where AI was used in order to develop fake videos, audios, or texts. And these are called deepfakes. When you watch a video which is created using a deepfake, it is very difficult for us to differentiate whether it was a real video or a fake video. And people can use this in order to pass misinformation, leading to a lot of consequences. It could also be a threat to democracy. Recently, there have been many viral videos about Tom Cruise and TikTok, and these were made using these deepfakes. I happened to watch some of these videos. They were so engaging and realistic that I found it very difficult to differentiate and believe that they were fake. So we all agree that we need to overcome these consequences. But how can we do that? Well, the good news is that the research community is already trying to address these kind of issues. As an example, when I am trying to create an algorithm, I make sure to use a fully representative data set so that it is not biased towards a community or a group. But if you think that the responsibility is fully in the hands of only few technologists and researchers, you are wrong. We all need to be involved. So let's find out some ways on how we can all involve. A lack of diversity in the workforce means that AI would cater only to the benefits of few people rather than the entire population. So we need to make sure to have a diverse team where people with different skills, experiences work in order to create AI related products or services so that they are able to identify and flag the biases earlier in the development, which will be easier to mitigate. The governments have an important role to play in the adaptation of AI. They have to come up with fair policies, standards, and regulations. They need to work together with the businesses in order to understand the changing job markets and help with upskilling and reskilling the workforce. Most importantly, they need to start initiatives to make sure people engage with these technologies so that they can gain their trust and confidence in AI. In the future, if there was a mass unemployment that happens due to the AI automation, the government should be able to come up with alternative sources of income, something like universal basic income. We know that in the future, jobs will be changing, so we should all be ready to upskill or reskill. Let me walk through an example of what I mean by upskilling and reskilling. So, currently, surgeons perform this surgery using their hands on the patients directly. But in the future, they might have to use the AI tools in order to perform the same. We also have to be AI literate, at least to an extent that we are able to use these products and services. We need to understand the risks associated with them, and we need to explore any opportunities they provide. AI has already made a remarkable progress, and it has been virtually embedded into every industry. The benefits of AI far outweigh its issues. So, the fear of the unknown should not stop the AI advancement. With the right policies, practices, and all of our involvement, we can make a journey into this exciting new world. Change is often difficult, but engaging and working together with AI will help us with a smoother transition into this exciting new world. Advances like this give me hope. Historically, humans have always chosen the path of hope, and I'm confident that we will do the same this time too. So remember, the choices we make today will have a huge impact on the humanity's future. So let's all join in and make sure that AI helps all of us. Thank you.